Right, icebreaker. 100 man versus 1 gorilla. Who's winning?
100 man, set the eyes. Go for the eyes. No one chats, go for the eyes.
Because you know what it is, yeah? People that say, yeah, 1 gorilla is like, yo, that's a true reflection of how you believe in yourself.
Exactly.
If you don't think 100 of you could beat 1 gorilla, come on.
The weakness, the eyes, man. Yeah. No one mentions the eyes. That's what I'm going for, anyway.
So you know what, yeah, my man here spoiled it because obviously you were supposed to come here and tell me to guess how much I thought it was worth, but obviously...
What I was thinking though, I wanted you to see the link, look at recently sold, and then have all the information, and then say what it's worth. That's what I was thinking when we did it, so you had all the info. That's why I sent it anyway.
Yeah. Right, let's pretend I didn't see the link here, because obviously I know how much, well, roughly it was sold.
You know the asking price, no the listing price, yeah.
This should be worth, is it a 2-bed?
3.
Oh, it's a 3-bed? Yeah, 250. 250, like, with no renovation work done, like just normal stuff.
As it is, you mean?
No, not
sorry, a bit.
But once it's done up, let's say someone was living there for like 5-10 years, it was just average spec, 250. Because the properties that I've got, they're on the other side of the town and it's the least desirable area. So here is much better and obviously it's close to the town. So yeah, I would say this is worth probably 240, 250. Now when you do it up, yeah, maybe 260.
So as it is now, what are you thinking? Well, let's have a look first and we'll chat about it now.
Obviously it's a void, isn't it? So it's not really habitable in this condition.
Yeah. But to be fair, people were living in it.
People were living there like this?
Yeah, it's mad, isn't it? It's mad. But that's a story for another day.
Yeah.
It was a bloke and his missus, and they split up. So.
Yeah, I would say like once this place is done up properly, like easily 260 you can get for it.
You got the cellar down there. There's fuck all in there. You got an old fridge that they left, and that's it really.
Do you know what? My bridge has got a property around the corner, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's got a cellar. That's how I knew there was going to be a basement as well.
You ever done any work like digging out basements, stuff like that? No.
So what you'll need is with this, you'll need a new fuse board. But don't get so you can get an electrician to come and have a look here, but don't let them try and convince you that you need a rewire. You won't need no rewire.
Yeah. I need to be tested though, obviously.
Yeah.
I need to find an electrical tester. If anyone knows them, drop it in the comments.
I don't know no electrical testers. But yeah, so even this, like the bonding and that's 6 mil. Will need to be 10 mil, but it could pass a certificate.
How much should I be paying a Sparky to sort this out? This, like the breaker and everything, what should I be paying roughly?
Oh yeah, so to change the fuse board, I think the going rate is like £400. Yeah. Some people might say between 400 and 600 just to change the board and test.
Yeah.
So it's not too expensive.
And then you'll see out there, there's sockets. They haven't fucking recessed the sockets into the wall.
Flush them into the wall.
Yeah, need to recess it.
So what, is this your first property, yeah?
I had a property with my ex. Split up, she bought me out, and this is the first second.
So what's your plans with this then? To live?
Do it up, and Airbnb it, basically. That's the plan. So obviously you had where the old wall was here, that's the steel. Put the wall back in here, 3 beds upstairs, make it a 4-bed. This will be, I won't have a dining room, this will be the lounge. Obviously kitchen, and it'll be a 4-bed Airbnb.
Right, so that's what I was going to say as well. So when I was talking to him yesterday over Instagram and that, I was talking about the floor plan. So good thing you mentioned Airbnb. So let's say you was going to do this as a HMO, because obviously you have to walk through one room to get to another. You can't rent this out as a living room. You can't rent this living room as a bedroom unless you blocked it off and had this as a separate room.
Yeah, which is what I would do. To be fair, that's what's been done anyway. They've knocked the wall out, built steel. We had a whole argument about this because no one said anything. And then the solicitors came to me and said they didn't have sign off for it, building reg sign off. So that was a whole argument in itself.
Yeah, so obviously we have to block that off and make this into a door somewhere here.
Well, I was thinking in here, to be honest. I was going to have the door in
here.
Yeah,
could do,
Just to allow this and that, really.
Yeah, because basically you don't want to have to go through one room to get to another. Yeah, so, I mean, obviously there are people that have a living room as a bedroom.
It's not ideal.
Nah. But yeah, definitely Airbnb, because at the moment landlords ain't got no rights.
It's a violation. Everything is a violation. 100%.
Yeah. You can't even serve your tenant a notice allegedly.
This whole no cause bullshit. I don't need a reason. It's my yard. Get out, bro.
Yeah, you can't even serve them a notice. Like there's no, I ain't paid rent. I need the room back for whatever reason. You want to give it to someone else. Apparently you can't do it. I mean, I was still serving them a notice and that. If they would take it to that level, then
we'll deal with that. We'll deal with that as it comes. This is what I mean about sockets.
I saw
the block
wall
walls.
straight away.
How much do you reckon I'm paying this party to do that? So we're saying roughly 500 for the fucking cell bits and bobs. And then if they say, let's say there's 10 double sockets that need recessing, what do you reckon I'm paying on that?
I mean, really and truly, it should just be £25 a socket max to just chase it in the wall, man. How many you got? And are you gonna want some more as well?
I'm gonna need a couple more in the bedrooms. Down here, I ain't really bothered. Yeah, I'm gonna make this a bedroom, so I need one more double socket. And then it says it's the bedrooms. That
so you definitely make this into a bedroom?
Yeah, 100%. Because Airbnb, the 4-bed, I get a big difference from it. If I was going to rent it out on the open market to a family, 3 and 4 bed don't have much difference because it's the same house type. But on Airbnb, if I have 8 beds instead of 6, I'm getting paid for 8, man.
Yeah, man. So hopefully they will charge £25 a socket to flush them in. And obviously an additional socket, I mean, extra £30. But these electricians, man, they're just a ripple. Trains people Trains people ripple. If you ever hire out a builder to do a works, yeah, imagine they're doing the whole property. If they tell you 50 grand, just know it's 30.
Yeah. Never pay. Get the lads yourself. 100%.
At least 15, between 10 and 15 of that 50 grand is going in his back.
100%. They've got to make their cut, but that's why you don't do it. That's why you don't do it.
Yeah, so I'll say probably 25 and that. I mean, if they were doing charging a decent price, and then probably £30 for an extra socket.
So I'm thinking, from what you said, basically a grand in for the electrics, and I'm sound. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. Hopefully, yeah. I don't think this is tongue and groove. Yeah, I think you just lift the floorboards up and that. Yeah, because obviously that's going to be extra work for them. But they have got basement access though. Because I think is the basement the whole of downstairs?
Nah.
Yeah,
it's
sub,
there.
Yeah. Because obviously I think that's a concrete sub.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So yeah, you got access to the basement. So yeah, and then lights and that, I mean they're cheap to install. Kitchen wise, so my girlfriend was quoted a kitchen, nothing spectacular or anything like that. If you go to Howden's, you might be able to get a kitchen for about 2.5, 3 grand. That's just material. Installation, it can be expensive, man. If I was you, look, I would try and pay some handyman, unless you're gonna do it yourself. No, give it a go, man. Yeah, give it a go, man.
The situation is, obviously, you look around, find the cheapest one you can. On Facebook, you're like, we've got Airbnbs and stuff. We get couches. We've got 3-seater and a 2-seater brand new from Facebook for like $350. So like that, mad cheap compared to high street. And there's people selling kitchens and stuff, yeah. And it's coming in at like £90 for a wall unit, £90 for one of them. And I've priced it up, and it's like $1,100 for all the units, plus obviously worktops and appliances. So then I'm going to be less than $2 grand all in. Okay, that's the plan. Don't get me wrong. When they run through that door, I don't know what's going to turn up. It's a gamble, isn't it? I'll do it once and see how it goes. That's the plan at the minute.
But yeah, man, just try it yourself. For anyone watching this, yeah, just try and fit the kitchen yourself. If you mess it up, I mean, you're not going to kill no one or anything like that.
Yeah. So. On that subject about trying stuff yourself, if you're ever going to try it yourself, it has to be the first time. Like if I pay someone else to fit a kitchen on this one, then when I get bigger and get more properties, I'm never going to do it myself. For me to do anything, start at the beginning. That's what I would say.
Yeah. And with like the units as well, I would just recommend buying them already built. You don't want to start messing about putting it together. Because IKEA stuff, you could put that together, but when they give you the Howden's manual, it's a bit more difficult than IKEA furniture and that sort.
And it goes wrong, or you're talking to screw whatever, and shit's cracking. Yeah, these ones that I'm talking about come pre-built for that price, so it looks blessed. We've just got to see what comes.
Oh, look, it's always. Is there a bathroom upstairs?
No. Oh, okay. It's an old layout, isn't it? Some people have converted the smallest bedroom to a bathroom and have a 2-bed, but I don't get any value from that. That's not going to make me any money.
Did you have a look at it down there anyway?
Yeah, obviously there's been a leak there, and when we go upstairs you'll see that. So this is obviously, this is single story. And on the bit of roof, you'll see where they've just put black visqueen held down by bricks to stop it, because to be honest, the people that were here, the people that were here look like they were struggling for money. It is what it is. So that's basically I need to get a bloke on the roof, a day's work really, that will be fixed, and then I'll come in and do the bathroom. Do you have a certain budget in mind, or are you just going to for the bathroom?
No, for the whole thing.
I don't want to put 15 in it. If I put 15 in it, then I've fucked up really. A lot of the work is going to be plastering. Obviously you've got wallpaper on most of the walls, wallpaper on some of the ceilings that you'll see all upstairs. That's going to be where a lot of my money goes.
Oh yeah, you've got stairs, What are we going to do with the fireplace? You're going to keep it, you're going to throw it?
Probably throw it, to be honest. I mean, I could go, if it was a nicer house, I could go bougie with like an old-fashioned fireplace kind of thing. But in this old house, people wouldn't think it's nice.
So basically, because obviously I do electrical testing and that, obviously, as you know, in Northampton. So a lot of council properties are laid out like this. They've converted this into the bathroom.
Yeah.
Because as I'm walking through here, I'm thinking that I'm in the job. You know what I mean? So when I've been into the tenants' houses and that, this will be the bathroom, and literally the bathtub will be there. So
But then the thing is, if I make this a bathroom, the room downstairs, what am I going to make that? Like, it's not.
You could. I mean, obviously, depends on how far you're going to take it, but you could knock it through and make it into a bigger kitchen. If you want
I
to, yeah.
I mean, I could, but it doesn't make any money. That's the problem. Whatever I do, it's got a return. I'm not going to do it. Yeah, this is what I mean about wallpaper everywhere. This is going to be where most of my money goes. Fucking with the plastering, the wallpaper, the painting, everything like that. Obviously, skirting will all come out and be replaced. Rads will go and be replaced. The windows are booked in for next Monday, so a week and a half away.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, windows and doors, back door.
I've been in this house before.
Yeah. Yeah, socket wise in here. I don't know who's done this, but look at that fucking massive ground. It's bad, isn't it? Oh, I've got two in here anyway. There's two doubles, so this room will be sound. I'm happy with that. So, the people that were living here, were they tenants or? I owned it. I bought it from them, yeah.
Oh, so was it a repossession? Or you just bought it from them?
Bought it from them, yeah.
Because that was cheap, you know. So how much? You want to say for the cameras? How much did you pay?
143 cash.
143?
143, man, come on.
Jesus Christ. Like even 165, yeah. When I saw it online, I'm thinking, why is it so cheap? How did you even get to buy it for 165? Put it this way, yeah. In the area that I live in, obviously it's in Northampton at the moment, they had a property that was going for like 150. I phoned up the guy, it was Hort's estate agent. I phoned him up and he said, listen, I've got 10 people already that have sent me bank statements and ID. Don't even bother come for the viewing. They don't even bother.
To be honest, the reason I got it for less, without going too much into their personal circumstances, was because they were in a rush. I paid cash and they were in a rush. And that was it, really, yeah. But
still, like, so weren't there much competition though? Because
someone has to buy it from the resi buyers. They were getting offers from residentials and everything. Obviously, with mortgages, but they wanted to do it ASAP.
Because obviously someone has to buy the property. Someone has to get it. But it's just like, how did you get it? You know what I mean, innit? Yeah.
I got lucky with this one, really. I got in.
Even 165.
Yeah, it was. We were going backwards and forwards. And then we agreed 145, and then I spoke about the steel in the wall downstairs between living room and dining room. I had an email from my solicitor saying they've removed this wall, it's a structural wall. It hasn't got building authority sign off, building reg sign off, but it's over 10 years ago, so it doesn't matter. But what I did, most people would be like, oh yeah, I'll take it on the chin, it's alright. Nah, I rang the agent. Let's call him Johnny, yeah? Rang Johnny. Johnny, we've got a problem. Like, something's got to happen, yeah? To be honest, I knew they wanted to complete ASAP. But I didn't want to go, we've got a problem, knock $2,000 off, yeah? So I'm like, right, what we're going to do, I spoke to a structural surveying company, and they said, right, we'll be out within 7 to 10 days, and then within 7 to 10 days, we'll give you a report, so 10 to 24 days, 14 to 20 days, you'll have the report of what it is, and then we'll deal with it. And I told them that, I was like, look, they need to pay for half. I'm not taking it all on the chin. The deal's changed. And next morning, bro, I had an email, 143, and we'll proceed as it is. And it's like, alright, deal, you got me. If I suggested it to them, there's no chance. And it's like, if I rang Ricky, well, I told you his name now, Ricky. If I rang Ricky, the agent, he said, we've got a little problem, Ricky. Can you maybe see if they'll pay a bit? He's going to ring them and say, look, I know you're not going to, but I've got to ask. And they're going to say no. But I rang Ricky and was like, look, there's a problem, we've got to fix it. And now Ricky's a salesman, isn't he? If I pull out, Ricky loses a commission on it and he's got to sell the house again. So you flip the dynamic. And now all of a sudden, Ricky's working for me making that call, thinking I need to get them down so the deal goes through. All on its head.
Just to give you some context, yeah? Imagine a brand new Mercedes is 30 grand, C200, yeah? He basically bought it for like the equivalent of 5 grand, yeah? Like brand new. So this is a bargain. Obviously, it's a own property, you know, it's got a lot of work.
There's work to be done.
But literally, put it this way, if he was to refinance it today, he would start making money from it straight away. You could actually pull out money from it because you bought it so low under market value. Like, someone could buy this for 190 and they would have I think they'll have a good deal on this, to be fair.
Don't know.
Because there's still room for improvement as well. So yeah, even if they bought it for 190, that's why I couldn't believe when I saw it.
That's why when you said, you gave it away, I'm like, I'll say no more. I'm not going to be like, yo, I didn't even make that.
If he told me to guess, I probably would have guessed, obviously seeing the condition now, maybe like 190 or whatever, innit? Yeah, but yeah, I had a heart attack. You said 143.
Ring up the agent, yo, is that still available? Yeah.
How many sockets in it? Just one.
You got the double down here, and that's it. Yeah. They were fucking running extension leads about. So yeah, I have to install a double here somewhere. It's easy enough, and you just spare it off that one, yeah. That's all that will happen.
Yeah. So what do you say you're gonna do with the thing? Is it just wallpaper or you're gonna replaster it?
I'm going to take the wallpaper down everywhere, and then I'm going to see what I want. If obviously, if it needs plastering, it needs plastering. I'm not going to do it for the sake of it, but if it needs doing, it needs doing, man.
Yeah. So what kind of things can you do? What skills do you have?
I used to be a trainee site manager, basically. I worked on warehouses, and then I worked for one of the big house builders. I can't say their name for long reasons, but used to work for one of them. So kind of nothing, kind of a bit of everything.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
You plumbing and that.
Yeah, I fancy myself doing the basics of it. For example, draining the system and taking the rags off the wall. Yeah, I'm doing that, but I'm not doing everything.
Yeah. Because a lot of stuff you can just learn it off from YouTube. Plumbing. I learned how to tile from YouTube. No one taught me.
That's one thing I've been debating. I've been like going back and forth in my head.
Yeah. So what kind of kitchen you think? What colours of kitchen you gonna do?
It's all going to be minimalist, right? So everyone thinks it's all right. Probably going to be grey. I quite like the shaker style doors you get in like a matte dark blue or like a light grey standard one. Everything I do is going to be relatively minimalistic, really. It's an Airbnb, so I have one of the attractions in the living room downstairs. I'm going to have like a dartboard with like a posh proper setup for a dartboard. So then, because really, as an Airbnb, all I'm going to attract in here is workers that are staying away. And you've got, 5 fucking Sparkies working on a warehouse on the corner. So I need to appeal to them. That's my audience. So yeah, get a dartboard in, stuff like that.
So obviously, you bought it under market value in that. Are you going to refinance it and put a loan on it?
Yeah, 100%. I need to get in an ASAP to get the money rolling. 100%,
because for you people that don't know, you can buy a property in cash and then put a mortgage on it. Some people think that's stupid, but at the end of the day, if you buy a property in cash, increase the value, you can get another mortgage on it and then pull out something.
And obviously by buying it cash, I got the discount, so that's why it was cash on the mortgage.
So you're definitely going to be making money off of this. Yeah. So what I would do is, let's say you renovate a property, then I would refinance it straight away. Never renovate a property and refinance it in 2 years because you will just get a lot of wear.
Why renovate? Why bother?
So because I've made that mistake. Not in terms of refinancing, but I put my life and soul into renovating one property that's over there. So it was my second property, which was my first buy to let. I thought, they're gonna keep the place clean and that. I was even gonna buy a steam mop, they just left dirty.
No one gives a fuck.
Filthy. And I feel like they degraded the property. You know, like it was worth 140, now it's only worth 110 or something.
And you can't say anything because they're gonna argue it's wear and tear. The kitchen's a bit bad, but they're gonna say it's wear and tear.
Who? The tenants?
Yeah.
Oh, they can't say nothing to me, man. Yeah, I don't pay, but I've never had no tenants not pay no rent. One girl, she got rude, I evicted her. I don't business about whether or not the tenant's paying rent. If you're disrespectful, you're gone. I'm not going to be in contact with someone on a regular basis that ain't showing me that respect because I'm a responsive landlord. If my tenants phone me, and they can watch this and they can contest it. If they phone me, Jane will come running. Not, the boiler's not working, I can 3-day response. Nah, that day.
That's how it should be.
It will get sorted in 24 hours.
That's how it should be on both.
If I'm going to provide that sort of service, I need your full respect. So I got rid of one person. That's the only person I've had to evict so far. And I've had probably about 30 tenants in my time. 7 years on and off.
So what's your plan going forward? Are you doing, did you start off with flats, now it's HMOs?
No.
What are you doing?
So my first property was a house, and that was obviously on the other side of the town. Then the second property that I bought was a flat over there. And then the third property I bought is, pretty much this area but around the corner. Then I've got another flat that's opposite that one, So we're at number 4 now. Number 4 now. Then my 5th property is the house that I currently live in. And then about 30 days ago I completed on another house, which is next door to my first house.
Good man, you crashed out on.
I didn't buy it off of, I didn't crash him, it was the people that live there. Idiots. So, so I'll be turning some of my properties into Airbnb because I think I'm kind of done with doing the HMO things, It's too much of a revolving door. people leaving all the time and that. So
if you've got 5 people, don't get me wrong, you make more money from an HMO. But if you've got 5 people in an HMO as opposed to one family, that's 5 times the problems. 5 times the bloke that's 3 days late with his rent, the one that's moving out, new guests, everything. 5 times the problems. That's why I'm not in a position to buy £1 million houses, but I want to buy reasonably expensive houses. So if I can have a 300 grand instead of 3 100s, I've got a third of the tenants, a third of the problems, a third of the solicitor costs, everything, a third of the mortgages.
But at the same time, then you will have 3 properties going up in value though. That's the only thing.
And to the same value though, it's only going to be, the portfolio value would be 300 grand. That's what I'm thinking anyway. The reason that I would do your way is if I say I have 30 grand and I can afford a little flat but not a house, then I might get itchy. That's what I'm doing. I'm like, right, I need to make that money work. That's what I would do. And it makes sense to be fair. It's going to take a long while. Bang,
Yeah, flats, me personally, I don't think I'll be buying any more flats. You have to deal with the leaseholder or the freeholder, yeah? So when there's a problem, I've got all of my flats, so I've got 3 flats and 3 houses. 3 of my flats, they're all the top floor, which happens to be the first floor. So with all of my flats, there's a council property underneath. And the council, when they've got a problem with you, got a little leak and it's going through to the bottom flat, they're on your case. Can you get down there ASAP? But it's funny, because I work in council properties, yeah? And when I ask them, oh, how long have you had a leak for? They say about a month. The council will come out for 2 months and that. But when it's me, the private landlord, they don't like landlords. They don't like landlords. I'm telling you, the whole world, they got beef with landlords. They hate councils and tenants. They don't like landlords.
The thing is, landlords are going to fuck off, and then you're not going to have anywhere to live. That's the problem. Rah, rah, rah. You're not going to have anywhere to live, mate. HMOs as well. Everyone slates HMOs. It's affordable housing for people that can't afford a house on their own. The average man that's say fucking, I don't know, 25, earning 30 grand a year, how's he going to afford his own house? He can't. You're providing accommodation for people. Like, it is what it is.
I'm just looking at the window. So obviously, when you've got a flat, you're a leaseholder, so you own the unit in the block. So there's a block around the corner, and I've got 2 flats opposite each other. There was planned works coming up, and I knew this. So when I contacted them, they said it's going to cost 3.5 grand per flat. So basically 7 grand. And they said, we're changing the windows. I'm like, hold on a minute, what for? There's nothing wrong with them. And the windows are just like these UPVC windows. They told me, when I spoke to the contractor, I think they were called Equans or something like that, it begins with an E. They said to me, there's a 20-year guarantee on those windows. I'm like, hold on a minute. The windows that are in the flat right now, they're only about 10 years old. So why is there not another 10 years on it? I told them no. I had to sign a form, I think. I just told them I'm not doing it. I'm not spending 3.5 grand for 2 units each, so 7 grand for something that don't need to be changed. So that's the thing. The leaseholder, they will pressure you to pay money just so everything else is the same as this. So flats, not the word for it.
I mean, see, I've never looked at the flats, right? Everything, the leasehold, the arguments. But one thing, like I said, I'm not looking into it. But I know the laws are changing soon, right? So the leasehold stuff is all getting removed, isn't it? Or the leaseholds are getting longer. So I haven't looked into it properly, but I think there might be an opportunity to buy flats now, and then the leasehold restrictions get removed, and you have more rights as a leaseholder, and potentially you get a bit there. Which, to be fair, brings me on to Airbnbs as well. Obviously, everyone knows HMOs, Article 4 licenses and everything. Now, Airbnbs, you can buy any house and do it. But soon, there will be legislation that comes in. You see governments moaning about it and everything. So if you do it now, you get grandfather rights, or you're probably going to, same as HMOs. If you had an HMO before the articles all came in, you get grandfather rights, you won't have to apply for licensing. So by doing it now, then it changes the game, and potentially uplifts the value.
With flats as well, one thing I was going to do is I was going to extend the lease on it. So you get lease of like, I don't know, 125 years. I think brand new builds are like 900 years or something. But one of my flats has got like 90 years left. So I thought it was going to cost an arm and a leg to extend the lease, but it's not. It's basically the ground rent, however much the ground rent is per year, times the amount of years, roughly.
Is it? Yeah.
So if the ground rent's only £10, which I've got one property, the ground rent's only £10, you times that by how many years you extend the lease.
Pretty much free at that point.
Yeah. But some of them, the ground rent is expensive. So if you've got a block where there's a lift, that can be expensive. Service charge as well. That can cost you however much a month. In Canary Wharf, I heard apparently the service charge in some of them buildings in Canary Wharf, London, it's like £1,000 a year, So
it's mad. And you don't get a lot for it. New builds are having, not service charges, maintenance costs, whatever. All the new builds now are having that building. And they're going up and up.
Some of the new builds, new build houses, They're leasehold.
Yeah.
Leasehold houses.
Yeah, 999 years on a lease.
Yeah,
like they'll
yeah.
be building them. It's anything they can do to have a bit more overview. Obviously, they're building houses, so they have the control. They say it was the maintenance costs and everything. You sign up to it, and then you basically agree that they're going to go up, and you have to pay it, even though you don't know what they're going to. They've just got to buy bollocks.
So one thing I did as well, when I bought all of my flats, because houses, you can just enter and approach the front door from the street. Yeah, it's a house. But with flats, as you know, some flats, you have to enter through a security door. So every flat that I own, you can walk up to the front door from the street, yeah? The reason for this is, if there's a security door and you try to convert that property into Airbnb, how are they going to get past the security door? Because you ain't got time to be meeting them with key fobs. And the leaseholder of the building, they might say, no, you can't put no key safe on the front of my building. So I specifically done that, like bought flats where you can walk up to the front door without any having to go to any through some security door. And that.
It's good tips and tricks. You wouldn't know it without doing it first. No one knows that. I wouldn't have thought that. To be honest.
Yeah. I think like everything like I'm gonna plan it out. Think what can go wrong and that. Like even one of my friends, he's got a Yale lock on his front door. Yeah. So he's in another country. He's in the Middle East. If I go to his front door, I'd phone him up and say, yeah, unlock it, and it will unlock, and I can push the handle down. Obviously, it doesn't unlock it like that, you understand? But when I close the door back, as long as it's closed, he can lock it and change the code. The Yale lock might cost about £200, something like that. So.
Do you want to go in the small room? When we said about the leak, if you get it from that window at the top there, you can have a little...
Have you been in the loft?
Yeah.
Is it boarded?
No, it's not boarded, but there's nothing going on in there.
The only reason why I was asking about that is because usually when you got the ladder up there, whoever's gone up there has boarded it out.
There might be, I can't remember, there might be a little bit around the entrance.
When you can
not
stand, you
boarded.
don't have to be balancing on the joist.
So that's, if you want to poke your head through there, that's what I was talking about the leak.
Okay.
But to be honest,
obviously that's the bathroom.
To be honest, I took a bit of an L on this one. I didn't actually see that until the day I completed. Obviously, I knew there was a leak, and I thought maybe it's been fixed, whatever. I looked at it and I thought, right.
But you know what? He said he took an L. There's no L. The fact that he bought it for so cheap, there's no L. Literally, even if he had to do £10,000 of work just for the bathroom alone, there's no L. Just obviously you might have anticipated.
That's something you've got to remember as well. There's going to be things going wrong that you don't see. So when you're working out your numbers, you have to have a margin because there's going to be things going on that you haven't even thought of.
But you definitely done well with this one, man. Nothing better than buying a bargain properly. What about the doors? You clean the doors?
Yeah. Obviously this bit as well. To be honest, this wouldn't be as bad, and I would paint it if there was a proper post in the corner there. Yeah. But they're all nothing. Do you want to have a quick look in the garden?
Yeah. What about the windows? Because you don't have to. You don't have to, but
All of them, yeah.
because that window up there is the only one that's like a UPVC window.
In the big bedroom.
Yeah.
They're all getting done apart from that.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
that's the one that's not getting done.
Do you know what sort of price you have to pay for windows and that?
I'm paying $3.5 for front door, back door, and then all the windows apart from the front bedroom. Yeah. And then so this one, the old ironer's left, the window in the front room. Yeah. They're going to fit that one in there. To replace all the windows apart from the one in the main bedroom that was good. Yeah, front door, back door, $3.5 grand-ish. Yeah. I'm going to paint this render. That'll be a nice, easy win. It looks shit now, but that'll be an easy win. Yeah. And then I'll just cut this down, obviously. And to be honest, the garden's pretty good. Like, it's not bad at all. Get some plants in there. All of a sudden, you've just got a patio, some barks and sleepers, and obviously, get rid of this.
Deck chairs and
barbecue.
So how many rooms do you think you'd be available?
4.
4,
Yeah, 3 bedrooms, and then split the front room into 2. Yeah. Probably get 6-7 beds in there for an Airbnb. Yeah. And see how it comes.
Yeah, this is definitely a money maker. Yeah, I don't know if you want to cut the video last.